Hey guys, welcome back to another Titus diorama and toy review video. Today we'll be reviewing the Wolverine figure from the Marvel Legends Juggernaut Build-A-Wave series from 2016. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so this is typically the part of the review where we do the unboxing of the figure. I do not have the box for this figure any longer because I have had him for a while. That stated, like all Marvel Legends, he came in a window box packaging so you could see the figure inside the packaging along with his accessories and the Build-A-Figure piece. The side of the box had some really nice artwork of Wolverine. And the back of the box actually had a product shot of the actual figure, as well as the Build-A-Figure and all the other figures you would need to collect to make that Build-A-Figure. I will have photos up next for you guys to see all of that. And when we come back, we'll talk about those other figures you need and then get into the actual overall review of Wolverine. Alright guys, so as you can see from the back of the box, you would also need to collect Rogue, Jean Grey, Iceman, Havoc, Cable, and Jubilee to get all the other pieces you would need to build the Juggernaut figure. There is also Deadpool. Deadpool did not come with any of the parts for Juggernaut, but he did come with a ton of weaponry as well. I will hopefully have reviews of all those in the near future, considering that I bought them all in order to get that Juggernaut figure. With that stated, let's carry on. Let's do the review of the paint, the sculpt, the articulation that Wolverine has, and then we'll talk a little bit about why I'm such a big fan of Wolverine. Alright guys, so both Toy Biz and Hasbro have released quite a few Wolverine figures. By far, I think this is probably one of the best figures that has been released for him. And I'm really looking forward to also picking up the Tiger Stripe variation of this guy later this year. I believe he's coming out. But with that stated, let's go over the sculpt, the paint, and the articulation on this guy. And why don't we start off with actually a size comparison with another normal 6-inch Marvel Legends, so you can see just how tall this guy stands up to some of your normal figures. So let's start off by doing a comparison. I'm going to use the Spider-Man 6-inch Marvel Legends to compare the size here. As you can see, the standard Marvel Legends is a bit taller than Wolverine, which is the way it should be. Wolverine's usually a smaller character to begin with. Wolverine himself does stand at about 5.5 inches, where the Spider-Man stands at 6 inches. So I think he fits into scale with the way he should look. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual detail work on him and the paint. The paint came out really well. And as you can see, it's a little hard to see, I guess, with my lighting right now. But he does have some very good detail work throughout the muscle tone. Even on the legs, it's really well done. The boots came out great as well. The face came out, or the mask came out really well as well. With that, for the paint for the most part is really great. Other than I'm noticing on camera, the paint that they used, or the plastic that they used down here, doesn't quite match with the paint or plastic that they used up here. but it's not a big thing. Like I said, I'm only noticing that while I've got it on the camera. Let's go over the articulation with this guy. His head can move very far up and can go very far down. Let's get his hand out of the way for you. It does swivel back and forth, and it does tilt a little bit, so you have a little bit of movement there. The shoulders are on a butterfly joint, so you can move the arm way back or way forward to get some nice poses. The arm can lift up, can go down, and you can do a full 360. He does have a swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows. His wrists move in and out, and they do swivel. He's got a really good ab crunch. He goes that far forward, that far back. He's got a hip swivel that is actually covered up by the actual belt. His legs can kick forward this far. They can go back that far. They go to the sides that far. He does have a swivel at the thigh. He's got double jointed knees. He does have a boot swivel. His feet can go that far back, this far forward, and he does have a really good ankle pivot. So overall, I really do think that this character, or this design for this character, looks really great. And they actually have reissued this guy, and I'll have a photo show up here in a second, for the vintage line. And he comes with a different head, so basically an unmasked head with the cowl that sits on his neck. This particular Wolverine came with 2 closed fists, which are really designed really well, but I like to display them with the actual claws out. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and move into a little bit of the reason why I collect my Wolverine figures, and some of the history of Wolverine himself. I've been a very big fan of Wolverine ever since I watched the 90s cartoon show. I just thought he was really cool. It doesn't hurt that he's also a Canadian. So of course I was kind of like jumping on the bandwagon to support Wolverine very early on when I was very young. He's got some really cool backstories. If you haven't, I do suggest that you go and read some of the Wolverine comics to kind of get more information about him. But he's got a really strong healing factor, which allows him to heal from almost any wound that he sustains. It also means that his life is a lot longer than most humans are. He was originally born in Alberta as James Howlett. He would later adopt the name Logan and Wolverine. He would father many children over his lifespan. A lot of them tragically died. However, the 2 that are going on right now in the comic books are Dakin, which is his son, and Laura, or X-23, which is basically the clone of him, female clone. Back in 2015, Marvel decided to end off this particular version of Wolverine, so they killed him off, allowing them to start up a new comic book series called All New Wolverine, which the main character was X-23. They also at the same time had brought in Old Man Logan, which was from a different universe, and brought him into the main universe. As of this time period, Wolverine is back in the comics, so that now means that you have the classic Wolverine, Old Man Logan, and X-23 all going around as Wolverine. A little bit confusing. That stated, guys, I really love Wolverine. I'll have a little photo or a video here of my Wolverine setup that I have in my display case. But as always, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please like, please share, please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed. Please leave a comment in the comments field below. And as always, stay nerdy.